Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make boureki. Boureki is just another word for a potato, zucchini, and cheese gratin. And it's very, very delicious, especially around this time of year when it's hot outside. Perfect if you're growing zucchini and you want to find something, to make with them. Let me show you what we need to get started, and we'll start right away. We need 3 large zucchinis. We need 3 potatoes, some freshly chopped mint, some sun-dried tomatoes chopped up, a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes, freshly grated Parmesan, or just grated Parmesan would be fine too. Olive oil, you want really good olive oil for this dish, a little bit of milk, freshly ground black pepper, salt, a little extra olive oil just in case. A little extra olive oil never hurt anyone. And then we need some whole full-fat ricotta cheese and crumbled feta cheese. Again, I love using sheep's milk feta. It's my favorite. I'd say it every time I have feta in a recipe. If you've never tried it, try it. Dodonis is a really good brand. It's really creamy and super delicious. It's way better than any other feta that I've ever tried. And a note about ricotta, make sure you're using whole milk ricotta. If you're using low fat or fat free or any other variation of cheeses, I cannot promise you that it will taste as good as this recipe should. So make sure you use the real thing. Eat a little less, but use the real thing. It makes a huge difference in flavor. I've also strained my ricotta for a couple of hours in the refrigerator. I did that by putting it in a strainer and putting the strainer over a bowl just for a few hours to catch the extra liquids and dry them up. Traditionally, this is made with mizithra in Greece, and mizithra is kind of like, the flavor profile is kind of like, it's like ricotta cheese in texture, a little drier, but more tart. So that's why I use the feta and ricotta together to kind of, emulate that cheese. All right, so we're going to begin by slicing our potatoes and our zucchini. Okay, as much as I don't like gadgets and stuff, a mandolin is one of those things that I recommend you have in your kitchen. It makes things go much faster. Just be really careful because slicing your finger in one of these things is really easy to do. So we're going to slice these potatoes and zucchini in 1/4 inch thick round slices using our mandolin over here. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to show you what they look like and what we're going to do next. Okay, so we sliced our potatoes 1/4 inch thick, and they're going to look like this. And now we're going to do the same thing with our zucchini. You don't need to peel your zucchini. You do have to peel your potatoes, but your zucchini, just, keep it like this and slice it very, very carefully. And when you get to the end, you just throw that away. All right, so next we just want to season these with some olive oil. We're going to use about 1/4 cup of olive oil in each of our slices, our potatoes and our zucchini. And we'll reserve the rest for later. We're going to pour it over our gratin. I'm going to sprinkle some salt. A little bit of freshly ground black pepper. Or a lot. However you like it. And a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes, or 2. Okay, so we're just going to mix these up to make sure that they're nice and coated evenly and seasoned, in the salt, and the pepper, and the olive oil. And this is such a simple dish to put together that once you make it, you're going to keep making it. It's a perfect dish to bring to like a potluck. I'm making a smaller batch, and I'm using a 10-inch deep dish pie plate, but you can definitely make it in like a bigger casserole dish, like a 9x13, and bring it to a party, and they're going to love you. Oops, I keep losing my ingredients. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mix my potatoes, and we're going to put it all together. Okay, now I'm just going to mix. I have my ricotta cheese and my feta in this bowl right here, and I'm just going to mix it all up. and it's going to be really yummy. It's going to go inside the filling, and it's also going to be the topping. Perfect, that's done. Now we're going to put it all together. Before we begin, I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil with my brush and brush my pie dish with some olive oil so that when I cut out the slices later on, they'll come out easily. Set aside. Okay, now I'm going to begin by layering my potatoes on the bottom. I'm just going to make one nice layer, just like that. We won't overlap. I'm going to sprinkle with some shredded Parmesan and a little bit of my sun-dried tomatoes. I love using sun-dried tomatoes. They're smoky, they're sweet, they're chewy, they're super delicious. And now I'm going to put my zucchini on top of that, a nice layer of zucchini. And zucchini shrinks a lot when you're cooking. It releases a lot of liquid. So kind of put them close together. If you overlap a little bit, that's fine. And make sure we fill it up everywhere. We're going to sprinkle with a little bit more salt and black pepper. Like that. And then we're going to take half of our feta and ricotta mixture. And I'm just going to go in with my fingers and just sprinkle it on top, just like that. Take a little bit of my mint. It's going to make it nice and fresh. If you don't have mint, or if it's a little bit hard for you to find mint, you can definitely substitute basil. I'm going to do this one more time, layer potatoes. I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to layer my potatoes, my Parmesan cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, and my zucchini. I'm going to do all this one more time. All right, so we made the layers one more time, and now I'm just covering it with my feta and my ricotta mixture. And let me sprinkle some more of my mint for yummy, yummy freshness. This is a perfect, perfect summer dish, you guys. So I'm going to pour the rest of my olive oil over here and my half cup of milk. It's just for a little added moisture so it can cook evenly. Why not sprinkle a little more Parmesan on top? Just like that. This reminds me of Greece. My tia Kostula, who's my aunt in Greece, where we stayed most summers going there, she would make this for us because she knew my sister and I love this dish, especially after coming back from the beach. Okay, so my oven is preheated to 375 degrees. And now I'm just going to cover this. I'm going to tent it with foil. You don't want it to touch the cheese because then the cheese is going to stick to the foil and it might come off and you don't want to lose any of that yummy cheese. Okay, so I'm going to put it on top of my baking dish just so it's really easy to bring, take in and out of the oven. Okay, so I have some leftover potatoes and zucchini. That's fine. I'm just going to fry these up later on and enjoy them, with some tzatziki on the side or something like that. These were a little bit larger than I needed, but that's fine. You can just take these and just fry them up or save them and make an omelet out of them. That would be delicious too. Roast them in the oven, whatever you want to do with them. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in the oven. My oven is preheating at 375 degrees. It's going to bake covered for an hour and a half. So this is the perfect dish to make if you need to just pop it in the oven and go and get ready. So it's going to bake for an hour and a half, and I'm going to uncover it and let it bake for another about 35 minutes. Or after 35 minutes, uncovered cooking, just take a knife and test the potatoes. Just try to run your knife through it. And if the potatoes are nice and soft, then you know it's ready. It's going to be nice and golden on top, and the cheese is going to be sort of melted and just delicious. So I'm going to put it in for an hour and a half, and I'm going to uncover it for 35 minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's ready. All right, so my bureki is done cooking. It cooked exactly for the amount of time we said. So it cooked for an hour and a half, covered, and then 35 minutes uncovered, and look at it. It's beautiful. The cheese has gotten golden brown on top. I would bite into this right now, but it tastes even better if you let it sit for about 15-20 minutes, so all these juices can redistribute, and it'll be really moist and super, super delicious. Look at it. It's so gorgeous, and it's so nice for this time of year. It's refreshing and light and super flavorful. Get this recipe on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.